TGIF, Alexander, Brock, Kevin, my trading warrior brothers. Hope you guys had a good week. Arena, good morning to you. How you doing, TJ? Marco, GM to you. Let's take a look around. What a difference a week makes. There's Bitcoin. So it's broken trend, trying to hold, but big break. How are you? S&Ps last Friday closed at 4182, right? It's had some big breaks. This was, this candle's pretty damaging. So yesterday I was talking about, are we going to make a new high or have a failing rally? And looks more like a failing rally in NASDAQ. But I'll tell you, I'm kind of neutral here, even though we had this bad candle on what I think might have been just a trial balloon put out by the Biden administration to see how the market would handle the raise in capital gains tax. They could come out today and say they, lower it by a lot and we could blow to one more new high. So, I think that's still possible in the S&Ps, right? So we start getting back through 4160, then there's a shot for 4200. Dollar, a very weak rally, little ABC. Here we go to new lows. I think 90.60 and 89.60 is a possible target. And the metals acting, great after that breakout. We tested 1760 here and almost here. And to me, it looks like we're headed up towards some type of third drive. I may be looking to take a short in gold next week or silver. Same type of formation that's in silver that you have in gold, or you could have a 1, 2, 3. For silver bulls, here's something you may want to hang your hat on. Is that when you look at the weekly here, right? You had 1, and then we had this big spike it failed from. Well, I mean, what's missing? Another surge for a 3 up here towards 30. And, that's a possibility. Also we could have a failing rally and, try these lows again. So I don't think Biden's trading. Do you think he's trading like our former president? I'm not sure, Ronald.
They don't need to trade.
They don't need to, Steve.
They don't need to. You've seen that. How do all these politicians become millionaires? I mean, theoretically speaking,
some through trading inside information.
I think
there's
that
been a lot of that.
I think that even without it, the system is built in a way that they don't lose money; they actually make money one way or another.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I why would
in
you
the expense of simple people, of course?
Why would you be trading if you can afford a professional? Oh, because you like to trade, Sinatra. And how about that you're a control freak and you can't give it up to someone else to manage it? That you want to make, if anyone's going to make a mistake, and in fact, I think that was the big boom in self-directed trading after 2000 and 2008. A lot of people who, had quote unquote brokers or financial planners that thought they were okay with just, some type of a certain portion of their money in stocks, certain amount in bonds, and a certain amount in cash. And after people got stung that balanced portfolio didn't help them on 2 crashes, everyone said, well, you know what? If I'm going to lose money, I'm going to do it myself. And I could do better than that salesman who's putting me in all these high commission mutual funds. Therefore, the boon in self-directed trading because of what happened in 2000 and 2008. Okay. So, that's about all I have to say for this morning. The dollar is relentless right now. It can't find a base. I thought we were having a little, I thought we had a fractal here of a little head and shoulders. See this? And then it took it out, and now it's right back in your face. You know what I'm starting to think for Aussie? That we might even have another high coming in Aussie, because this was just a 2 and this was confirmed. We'll see. But, you look at the dollar on a weekly basis, and it was a pretty weak. Look at that. 3 weeks in a row, straight down, no reversal. I think some people have some stuff at, Steve, I think you were saying, what, 89.60 or something is the last hope for the bulls on this. You had some number that the bulls could hang their hat on by a thread. Do you remember that?
90.80 is trend line support. I think below it we're headed to new lows.
Okay, so we're there. Okay.
Almost there, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, if this is going to happen, then if that's going to happen, Steve's forecast comes in. Okay. I'll wait a second, Arena. If that's going to happen, then I think there's a pretty good chance that we don't fall apart in the market. I think as long as the dollar is heading down, that it's a tailwind for the market until proven wrong. Okay. So, I mean, this did happen on a day when the dollar was firming up, right? Even though it was the news. So if the dollar's going to new lows, I'd say there's a better than 50-50 chance that we're going to make a new high, or should I say 99.9% chance that they'll make a new high.
Hey guys. Hey, it's Blake.
Yeah.
I've got a few things to say.
Who's Blake?
Huh?
Oh, I know you. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I gotta step out for just a second. As I knew I was going to be coming up here in a second. I have a little dog that is scratching at my office door, and if I don't let that little dog out,
you'll be cleaning
I'll have
up
curtains that get peed on. So I'll.
It
happens.
They have a favorite spot, don't they? They
What?
have a favorite spot to
yeah,
mess up in the house.
And this little dog, he's like, oh yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
bro.
Mark
Go.
my yeah
territory.
His
I'll be
leg
back
is
in a few
lifting.
minutes.
His leg is going up right now.
Be right back.
All right.
Well, tell you what, we can talk about
Go ahead,
crypto
buddy.
a little bit, because they're the main movers today, right? So far. And it's interesting. I had a conversation with a friend of mine about lots of things, but we talked about cryptos as well. And I said to him, look, if you're a trader and you're a person who doesn't mind trade anything, right? I have a problem with cryptos because I just don't understand them enough. I don't trade them. But if you're a trader who'll trade anything, cryptos and Bitcoin and Ethereum, they give you weeks of price action in a day. So you saw overnight Bitcoin was down 8%, Ethereum was over 10% down, and again I was discussing with a friend of mine. I was saying, look, there's all these people who have missed the boat and they haven't bought any, and they haven't made all the money they see other people making, and they're all saying, oh, if only we could get a drawdown, a nice little dip, I'm going to get in. Well, you got a 10% dip in Ethereum in one day. And I was telling my friend, I said, look, I think there's going to be buyers today, simply because you get this price action that you usually want to wait for, 3 months in effect.
It's also the Pavlovian response, Stelio. Don't forget that the cryptocurrency crowd especially is being indoctrinated that, buying the dip always works, as long as you're willing to hodl, right?
Yeah. You want to take the screen,
get scared away.
Steve, you want to take the screen before Blake comes in?
No, it's okay. Take it,
anyway,
Stelio.
I just wanted to...
And in my opinion, that's also going to be their demise. That one day, the dip will not be the one that should be bought. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What were you going to say, Dale?
I'm looking for Gwen Noak sent something about tethers, which, is basically the guy's calling. I know Steve will like this, basically saying that there's some type of, that it's a scam, or there's all these unknowns. There's all these unknowns. So, I'm going to post it here in.
There is a lot of speculation that
something
Tether,
about
in essence,
tethers
was created to help manipulate,
There it is. So, I mean, you guys check it out. I got through most of it, but it's a guy who was an investor in Bitcoin, and some of the research he did that scared him out of it. So anyway, there's a link up there, guys, if you want to read it. That was from Gwen, one of my followers. I think she's a subscriber too, or she's at least in. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, sorry, carry on.
Sorry. No, I'm done.
Okay, I was going to say I posted on the chat room today, and I think I tweeted about it as well, that there's a huge support zone in Bitcoin, 42 to 44K roughly. And I said, look, I think when we get there, there's going to be reaction, there's going to be a bounce. And Greg has said afterwards, yeah, it's only going to be a B wave, a B leg though, so it's not going to be a. He expects more downside, and I don't see why not. But
how about here?
Wait. We're talking. I'm sorry, I just sat back down. And
how about right here? 35 grand.
We're talking cryptos, yeah. How you get 3 months worth of price action in one day?
Well, so Dale, I was listening to your comments a little bit earlier about the equity markets and yada yada yada, and how you're like, well, the dollar looks pretty. Looks pretty weak, and I can't see stocks coming down without the dollar, without the dollar, rallying or vice versa. And I really wanted to point out that cryptos and Bitcoin's below that 50,000 mark, and that's a big deal to me. And it looks like you guys are already discussing it. So I've got a few things I got something to show you about Bitcoin, and then I just posted in the chart in a little bit, or posted it in the chat room a little bit ago, but I want to show you guys the comment. But also, I disagree with you, Dale, as far as equities go, because if cryptocurrencies continue to be pressured, I think that is going to be problematic for equities, and therefore it'll eventually give the dollar a boost. But
well, that's okay, Blake. You disagreed with me Friday when I said that was the high in the S&Ps. So disagreement's fine.
No, yeah, I mean we can disagree. It doesn't make it right or wrong either.
Blake, that was a low punch from Dale.
Either don't disagree or don't acknowledge it. So that's okay.
I mean, well,
isn't that the way it's gone? I mean, it goes that way. So,
but it really is. I mean, there's always going to be opinions, and we're always going to have our. There wouldn't be a market if we didn't have differing opinions. And
well, they say that in the car business, there's an ass for every seat.
That's funny.
But by the way, one of our friends is asking, what did Dogecoin do? It's down 50% from its peak, which was last week. So it's a bit volatile.
Just a little bit. It should be actually used as a reserve currency for a country.
Yeah,
is what it should be.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, I want to show you guys. Stella, let's go ahead and finish your thoughts on Bitcoin or crypto. And
no, I was just saying that Greg has, I posted about this leg lower having support in Bitcoin around 42 to 44K, and Greg has said yes, probably. I said probably it's going to bounce. He said yes, but it's going to be a B wave, so he expects more downside. And frankly, there's so many people who have been in this from so early that there's going to be profit taking at some point, and that's going to probably push it lower. I don't know where's the dip going to be, where is it going to be bought. Obviously, nobody knows, but this is a pretty starting to be a pretty big move now.
So, do you guys mind if I take over the charts?
No, go ahead.
No, okay. Don't do it. Go on.
All right. So, so with Bitcoin, one of the things that if you've been following along via ForexAnalytix, we've been looking at this, triangle pattern that was developing on the day, it was intraday, but then, the 50,000 level, we broke through channel support. 161% extension comes in at 42,700. That's of the last move higher. Keep in mind, this was now you have to recognize that this is and was a false breakout that led to a break down, right? So we have a false breakout led to a breakdown, and that breakdown is still continuing. And now we're going to be attacking what I would consider very, very important support for bulls. If I was a bull, if I was like a longer term bull, this is not this is a level that I would not want to see broken now. That 42,000 level. But you know, as Stelios pointed out, there's a lot of people that are in at much better prices, and I believe institutional money was in and getting long below and sub 20,000 before the big breakout here. This is where institutional money was really long. So, you know, as Bitcoin accelerates lower, it's going to spur more selling because of the adoption as an investment vehicle globally. Now, let me stop right there and show you guys something. And this is our chat room for those of you guys that are not in, you know, not in the ForexAnalytix community. And as you can see, I'm going to see if I can find it here. This is from this morning. It's been kind of a slow Friday. Here we go. Now, this is from Bank of America. And just look at that chart for a second.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at the tech bubble.
Yeah.
Look at the housing bubble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at gold and and look at where Bitcoin's at. Yeah. Now, that's pretty amazing. But more importantly, it shows what it shows me right now is how
it's the biggest bubble of all time, going back to the tulips.
Yeah, wherever the tulips would be, which would be somewhere back here in the 1800s, whatever it was. But that to me is one of the scarier charts out there, and it shows that everybody is long. So last night, let me see, I thought you know what, I didn't. Here, just give me a second. So anyway, last night I had a friend in from North Carolina. His father had passed away, old Marine Corps vet, matter of fact. And he had, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put this in really quick, just so you guys can see it. I'm going to share with you guys this here in a second. So just give me a second. I'm going to show you a picture from last night, but I'm going to put it in our Skype chat for ForexAnalytix. Then I'm going to save it. So, and then save it here. Okay. And so now let me pull it up, and I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of story. It's story time with Blake. You guys ready for story time with Blake? So, yes. The guys that these are guys that I've known since, gosh, you know, as soon as I probably, well, let me just, I'll tell you. So that's me, obviously. This guy right here is a guy that I went into the Marine Corps with, and I've known him since we were, I want to say 13 or so. These are friends that I've met through him over the years since we were like 20. This guy's in real estate. This guy takes dents out of cars professionally all over the United States, and he has a business, a really good business at it. He makes, you know, a lot of money, actually. It's probably one of the better jobs you could have is a guy that takes dents out of cars. And this guy's a postman. He's been a postman. The guy here in the pink shirt, he's a postman, and he's been at the post office for almost 30 years, like 27 years, I think. Anyway, so I was sitting with these guys last night. I hadn't seen a couple of them in a few years, and they told me we were talking about how invested they are in cryptocurrency, of all things. All of them.
From how long ago, though?
Oh, you know, what like I guess here I'll go back to my picture here. This guy he always invests into everything, right? He's always like this guy over here on the far right. He actually just sold 2 rental properties. He bought Dogecoin at 4 cents, just sold it at like, 27 cents before the run up to 40 cents. And he bought Bitcoin at, 6,000, sold it at 20,000. He's always got his hands in, he's always out investing in the stuff. That's just he's always been that guy. Right. These guys have been buying cryptocurrency quite a bit for the last couple of years. But I want to show you the scope of.
Who's a lonely girl back there having a beer all by herself?
Oh, believe me, by the time we left, this is all outdoors and it was completely packed. There was a cover band, Bad Company cover band. You would have enjoyed it.
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, but I get the reason why I'm pointing that out is because it's widespread. Bitcoin is not just a phenomenon of.
It's not a cult anymore.
No, it's not, and it's people are in it from all walks of life, and they've been in and out of it. It's part of it. So when you have this huge bubble, and that asset bubble that I was showing you, it's going to resonate with people, especially if it starts to turn lower. So anyway, I thought it was interesting that this is a conversation we were having last night at a restaurant, and it was about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It wasn't that obviously wasn't all the conversation we were having, but it was an interesting conversation nonetheless. But you see Bitcoin's turning lower. Ethereum, by the way, hit a new all-time high yesterday and reversed aggressively. And then you look at like a Dogecoin, which, as Stelios pointed out, it lost 50% of its value. But more importantly, actually from its highs, we were down 65%. Last night we were trading at 15 cents. So, and there's a lot of people that have money in here. And I'm going
Guess
to.
what?
What?
The guy at Everest.
What?
Oh, the coffee guy. Yeah.
The coffee guy.
Oh, I don't know what Everest is.
Oh yeah,
okay.
The coffee guy that was happy for so many days and so many weeks.
Oh yeah, well, but
he's not in the money anymore.
But the thing is you've got a lot of people that this is going to sting, especially if you see, Dogecoin drop back to basically worthless, or drops back to less than a penny. Because what happens with most people, and because I've watched it, I've explained to you guys, I've watched this over the years, especially during the tech bubble, is they will buy all the way down. That I say I'm talking.
I've done it.
Well, who hasn't? If you've never done it, you
have to do it. You have to do it.
You have to do it. You have to do it.
It's a great experience.
To experience it. Yeah. So, and you do, but it's more of the mentality until you've done it.
Yeah.
You don't know. And so
just keep averaging out.
Yeah. Oh, if I liked it at, if I liked it at 40 cents, I
love it here.
I love it at 10.
I definitely like it at 15 cents. I definitely love it at 5 cents. So I'm going to quadruple my positions. That's what investors that have a belief that in a belief system that you can't shake, they'll be with it till the end. And it will hurt. And I saw it in tech stocks or in .com stocks. And we're going to see it in crypto. And that's just the facts. And you may at some point fall into the trap where you go, well, I'm going to tell you where I'm going to fall in the trap right now. I'll tell you exactly where I'm going to fall into this trap. I look at Bitcoin, and personally, and you guys, if you've been with us for a while, my thoughts here. I actually think Bitcoin's coming back to 20K, and I believe that Bitcoin's more or less here to stay. So I am a buyer somewhere around the $20,000 to $18,000 mark.
The prior high.
It's the prior high.
Yeah.
It's, previous resistance. I believe
Right.
institutional money is very long, and I believe that they are here to stay. And I believe blockchain, the technology, is here to stay. I'm not paying these prices. I will buy Bitcoin once it drops down here. And you know what? I could be wrong. I could buy it at 20K and it could go to zero.
Can you drive it?
Hmm?
Can you drive it like a
No.
used car? 20K.
No, Steve, what did you say?
Even used cars are going up in value, Blake. For
Very
the
much,
first time in
actually.
history.
Oh, yes, they are.
Very
Used
much,
car
actually.
values are ridiculous. Everything's going up in value. But Steve,
Yeah.
what did you say a little earlier?
I don't remember about which comment.
I don't know. You made some comment. All right, let's talk a little
You
bit
mean
about
after the comment about the cafeteria, the coffee guy?
No, I was talking about just about 30 seconds ago. Now
okay.
About a minute ago, and so never mind. So I want to talk a little bit about the euro dollar and the euro dollar reaching to 121. 121 is just so you guys know, it's the 618 retracement. I want to just kind of fill you in on the analysis that, well, here, I'll just take you right here. In ForexAnalytix 4-hour chart, we're looking for a move up to 121. The reason why is because it's been we're in an ascending channel. We held the 119.90. That was also a 24% retracement, which is a shallow retracement, and it held. And so that means we could probably reach for the 618 or this downtrend line from the highs around 121. I'm a seller of the euro dollar if we reach 121 today. Now, when I show you that's the 618 retracement. That will also possibly coincide with the 618 retracement here in the dollar index. I still think that the dollar index holding the 618 is significant. I think we could dip with the euro going to 121. Dollar index could dip slightly below that before bouncing. But that's what I'm looking for regarding the dollar. And let me be clear, because this is the point I wanted to make regarding Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies initially, which I didn't get a chance to do, but I want to do it right now. Oh, by the way, do we have any interviews?
Yeah, Norm Winsky.
Norm. Okay, all right. Okay. So let me say this before
Usually
he comes on.
Skypes me. Let's see.
As far as the dollar goes, I would be very careful.
Yeah, Norm's here.
Shorting the dollar, especially with stocks looking weak. And remember, cryptocurrency, let me go back to that chart from our chat room. Cryptocurrency is widely adopted. Here it is. It's widely adopted, could be the biggest bubble in history, and it's breaking down below 50,000. And now it's starting to make investors nervous. So if the proverbial wheels fall off the bus in cryptocurrencies, the stock market is going to come under pressure. And the last thing you're going to want to be doing is shorting dollars if we see significant selling come into cryptocurrency. So just be really careful. And one of the other things that's happening is I know everybody's like, well, Blake, bonds are rallying, yields are coming down. Well, why do you think that yields are coming down? Because things are rosy? No,
Yeah,
I think
it could be, risk aversion.
It could be some risk aversion. And so with yields coming down, yeah, the dollar yen's coming down, but also think about all the other yen pairs coming down. And if you start to see a breakdown in the euro yen, the Aussie yen, the Kiwi yen, the Canadian yen, remember, Canadian yen, New Zealand yen, Aussie yen, euro yen, all these yen pairs are not yen pairs. They are associated with a base currency. And if you see the euro yen start to retrace 1 year's worth of a move, that means the euro is really going to be under pressure. So when you get the yen pairs pulling back aggressively, it is actually de facto very dollar bullish minus the yen. So just think about that if we go into a risk off type of state. All right. And I'm going to leave you guys
How's
with
Aussie
that.
yen look?
Huh?
How's Aussie yen look?
Yeah. I mean, we're on the cusp of breaking this ascending channel.
Okay.
And we rejected a 618 and we had a false breakout this week.
Okay.
We had a
Thank
false
you.
breakout above the 618 this week, which should lead to a breakdown.
Yeah.
You know, maybe back down towards the 200-day moving average. So,
risk off.
You know, I'm just pointing out some things that maybe you're not looking at, and I think it's worth noting. So hopefully that helps you out.
Okay. Well, have a good weekend, Blake.
You do the same. Steve, Stelios, I hope you guys have a great one. And
Thank you.
Thank you,
If
mate.
you guys are in, ForexAnalytix subscribers, remember, we will be back here in 45 minutes. We don't have the daily roundup today, but we'll see you at the morning edge in 45 minutes. And remember to get ForexAnalytix for free for a few months. Open a Pepperstone account. They are our webinar sponsor. You have to open the account right through this link right here. They're one of the largest FX brokers in the world. So make sure you do that. All right, Dale, yours.
Okay. Thank you. Hello,
Thanks.
Norm. I made you a panelist, waiting for you to unmute. See where your dates are saying in this. You said there's a lot of activity in the sky. Maybe SpaceX will get a better view when they take off today and send 4 guys in orbit, or at least a couple guys in orbit. Are you with me, Norm? Norm Winsky, paging Norm Winsky. Oh, he just disappeared again. Okay. Do you see him, Steve?
Mute my microphone.
There you are,
Now?
Norm.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, got you, buddy.
All right, I did somehow it was defaulted to mute my microphone.
Okay. Well, welcome back, Norm. How have you been?
Just fine. Staying well. Haven't gotten the big bug yet, so there we go. Don't plan to.
What big bug? COVID?
You heard about that?
Yeah. Well, you have vaccinations? Did you get vaccinated?
Have I been shot yet? No.
Okay.
Have
All right.
you?
You want to? Yeah. You want to share your screen?
I would like that. Let's see.
Was there something you saw in the stars that tell you not to go ahead with this vaccination?
No, it's just I see what people in the area are saying, and there's long lines, and some people. I'm on the Gulf Coast of Florida, and people are driving 2 hours to go over to Miami, Fort Lauderdale to get their shot. And I figured I'll just stay in my house. Then I won't have to drive 2 hours, right?
Okay, yeah. So it's more about the inconvenience of it in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. It's as this thing ramps up, more will be available, and I won't have to wait in a long line or drive for hours.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Norm. So the green button will help. Will let you share your screen and show your notes.
Let's see. I'm looking for them now. I think I found them. Okay, so then I will share that. Can you see that okay now?
Got it.
Okay.
So you have the corn chart up.
I'm sorry?
You have the corn chart up.
Yes,
corn
sir.
Daily.
Well, we're going to get to that. Did you want me to start now?
Yeah, go ahead. Norm has been doing astrology for most of his life. He started it in college and then used it for horse racing and then used it from the SIBO floor. Continues to use it and teach it, including GAN. So Norm has a great knowledge base of a lot of the masters, what they did, and he does teach other people what it, and simplifies it for them so that they can, don't have to put a decade of studies into WD GAN to understand, time and price from GAN, and his astronomical work is pretty good. So go ahead, show us what you have here today, Norm.
Thank you. Well done, Dale.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to review what happened and kind of ramp you up there, get you look at some things that have happened in the past, and this will be hopefully educational. A couple weeks ago, the weekend of the 9th, we had a new moon, and you'll see that I know you got a lot of currency traders there, and you should be looking at the moon, new moon, full moon. It's very simple. If you don't want to talk to me, you can Google some of this stuff for free in 3 seconds. So it doesn't get much easier than that.
We have a full moon coming up, Norm, this weekend.
And we have I'm going to get to that. It's not just any full moon though. It's going to be big. So anyway, let's just go back and look at what we had before. Had a new moon over the 9th weekend. AC means after the close of the night. That was a Friday. So over that weekend, we had a new moon. And anytime we have a new moon, full moon, I like to borrow from the great movie Casablanca, round up the usual suspects. There you go, famous line from the movie. Financials, grains, and precious metals is my standard markets to look at. And then it was pretty quiet then overall, and so there wasn't anything until the next weekend when we had a 3-cycle whack to the U.S. chart for the triple change in trend window. What does that mean? The U.S. natal chart is take a snapshot of the planets where they were when our country was founded on July the 4th, 1776, and then we look at where the planets are now, and if they kind of line up, then that's an important possible change in trend. And we had 3 of those.
So far, that is the high in the S&Ps last Friday.
That is correct, sir. And so there you go. There's the weekend of the 16th. Okay. And we're going to be looking at different charts. Okay, here's the grains dance to the moon. And there you go. There's the moon there. We look to trade on the opening of the next day. All right. And if it's on a weekend, it'll be on the opening of Monday the 12th. And if you sold there, you could have picked up about 10 cents, which is $500 in about a day. And so that's not too bad. Buy you some popcorn, There you go. Okay, soybeans, if they're going sideways, I don't do anything. I'm on Newton's law. For every action, there's an opposite equal reaction. If it's going sideways into my magic time, I take a pass. That's a yellow bar. Okay, and the green arrow means you got a winner. And if you see a red arrow, which is probably coming up, that's a miss. Here's your wheat. Wheat was going up, up, up. We look for 75% of the time. It'll probably reverse into our magic time, which is the moon for the wheat. And if you sold there, you would have made about 10 cents, which is about $500 in the wheat. Here's the crude oil because of the U.S. chart had Neptune involved for one of those events I showed you. Neptune is oil, and the oil went up, up, up into the weekend of the 16th, and it topped one day later, but we were close to the top there. And then it had a pretty good down there for about 3-4 handles. Every handle, if in crude oil is $1,000. Here's the silver. Silver was kind of a confused mess in that the high was 2 days before. I'm okay with being wrong or being right within a day, not 2 days. And had we been later in the day, we would have been right near the lows. We were kind of in the middle there, so I'm going to count that as a miss with a red arrow. Here's the gold was a little clearer picture there, and you can see we came down there. If you bought on the pullback there on the opening of the 12th, you were not too far from the bottom on the next day, and then it was up, up, and away. All right, here's your S&P, as you mentioned, Dale. The moon didn't work that well. It just kind of stopped going up there for a couple days and then continued higher, and so that's a miss. But we had the triple whammy there for the U.S. chart for the weekend of the 16th, and that was a nice top there. Then we had a pretty good pullback there, I think about 50 handles or so over the next several days. And there you go. Here's the T-bonds, went sideways into the moon, but on our triple whammy for the U.S., that was a little bit of a short-term top there. And if you know the bonds, every handle on the bonds whole number is worth $1,000. And I think that was good for more than a handle there for more than $1,000. Here's the dollar. Dollar went sideways on the moon. Take a pass. On our triple whammy on the U.S., it kind of went sideways, so it took a pass or did nothing on the dollar. Here's the British pound. Your folks might like the pound. Jolly good here on the pound. Cheerio and all that. There you go. You're right near the low there. And then up, up, and away.
That was a good one.
Euro is going sideways, so we do nothing. Yen is also chopping sideways, so we did nothing. Okay. So if you add up all the green arrows and all the red arrows, you had 11 out of 13, 11 winners, 2 misses. out of 13 for 84.62%. I'm going to try to work on it, getting rid of those bad ones there, Dale. You know, I got to get to 100%, right?
Most people would be doing cartwheels with that hit rate.
What's that again?
Most people would be doing cartwheels.
Cartwheels, right?
With that hit rate.
There you go. All right, so here's what's coming up Monday, Tuesday. Okay, Monday night to Tuesday morning. It's huge. It doesn't look like there's only like three or four lines there, but I'll get into the details why it's really big. So we have a appetizer there on the afternoon of the 26th with a sort of a medium hit to the U.S. chart, and that's your US stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar, and then it really gets big over the night of Monday night with Mercury Perihelion. That only occurs every 88 days. What's perihelion mean? Mercury goes around the sun in 88 days, and it's the planets go around the sun in elliptical fashion. That's like egg shape, not a circle. So there's a point where they're the closest and where they're the farthest. And this is you can, if you speak Greek, you'll know that helios is sun, and peri means close. So that's the point where the Mercury will be the closest to the sun in its 88-day cycle. And Mercury is grains, and because the sun is involved, you got gold, and then the stocks respond to just about everything. And then also that night we have a full moon. We have a full moon every month, but every 14 months the full moon lines up with what's called perigee. This is when the moon. There's another cycle called apogee perigee, where the moon is closest to the Earth, and every 14 months those two cycles line up. So that when you go look at the full moon on Monday night, the moon will look closer because it'll look bigger because it's closer to the Earth than normal. So there you go. So you're going to have more, you want to get into the physics of it. It could be that the moon will have more gravitational pull because it's closer and so forth. And so that's a big deal there. And we're going to round up our
river wider than a mile.
Yes, sir.
I'm crossing you in style on Monday.
There you go. We'll have a breakfast at Tiffany's.
Right.
Okay, financials. We're going to round up our usual suspects: financials, grains, precious metals. Financials include your currencies. If you're not looking at the moon, you're trading these currencies, then you got one hand, you're fighting with one hand behind your back. Mr. Gann said that time is more important than price, and I can save you from 5 to 10 years of wrestling with Gann. Tell you that the key times, you don't have to predict the price. You don't need any moving averages. You don't need any oscillators, because if you have the key times will give you the key prices. If you call me up, I'll explain it to you in just a few minutes, but we got so much time here that we can do. So there we go. So we got financials, grains, precious metals, and because it's going to land in the sign of Scorpio, we're also going to add in. We're running a special here with the blue light on cocoa, hogs, and T-bonds. Okay. Now the morning of Tuesday morning. Now this is just on Monday night. The next morning, if that wasn't enough, like they say on late night TV, wait, that's not all. One of my top things is when the planets turn direct or retrograde. That's due to the relative motion of the Earth and other planets. It appears that if you look at map the other planets, plot the other planets, they appear occasionally to look like they stop their motion and reverse direction. And Pluto will be doing that Tuesday morning. And so that's a really big deal. And we'll be looking at, because it's Pluto, we're looking at cocoa, hogs, and bonds. And then because it's in Capricorn, that's coffee, and of course stocks for everything. So here's the three charts I did not show earlier on the review. So there you go. We were looking for these markets to get to some sort of extreme. If they're not an extreme, I wouldn't do them. If they get to a big extreme, that's a more, right? There you go. Well, since you like the song references there, Dale, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, coffee is looking promising. We don't know for another day or so. Late Monday, early Tuesday. But if coffee continues to go higher, then you'll be at some
looking
sort of
for
extreme.
A high. Yeah,
and the cocoa is kind of in the middle, so that's not good. We'll be passing on the coffee, maybe, and having a cup of coffee instead, And here's the hogs there, kind of in the middle, so they need to move out of the pig pen there and get running.
My God. I remember hog prices in the $30 range. It's amazing the prices.
Me too. I remember buying. Maybe you remember when they first came out with the lean hog contract.
Yeah.
I forget how soon it was, but within that year, I think the hogs went down to like 27, 28, 29. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
The high 20s.
Yeah.
And Pluto, interesting you brought that up. Pluto did something there, went direct or retrograde or something, and I bought the hogs in there about right around 30, and then the piggies started running the other way, and that was great. I remember earlier back in a year ago in the spring of 2020, I was on an interview program on I think it was a Friday, the 2nd of April. Pluto was going to turn, I think, retrograde, and the hogs were crashing back then, and they were like down 4 out of 6 limit days. And I went on this interview show and said that I thought they could turn by Monday. It was on a Friday, and they opened lock limit down that Monday, and within I think 21 minutes they rallied like 27. I think it was 7 1/4 handles, which was like $2,900. Yeah, I think about $2,900 in about 21 minutes. Yeah, so there you go. They reversed right on as soon as the market, within about a minute after the market opened on that following Monday when Pluto turned retrograde. Okay, so this stuff is potentially very powerful. So that's why I wanted to come on your show and alert the folks. And if you'd like to learn more, you can. I have day trading classes. We trade the S&P E-mini, and I do that the first week of each month. So you need to get hold of me in advance so we can get you up to speed. You'll need a U.S. futures account to do that. And also I have swing trading on about 30 different markets, and I have a 6-hour class that goes with that letter, and I'll teach you advanced technical analysis, such as you can learn Gann in about 20 minutes, and advanced Fibonacci using Lucas numbers, and I'll apply it to mostly time, not so much price, because as Gann would tell you, time, the time is more important than the price, and that's the key. And I also do fractals, and I mentioned some advanced things. Take you from kindergarten to graduate school, trading school in about 6 hours. So looking forward to helping some of your folks, Dale. Everybody have a great weekend, and thanks a lot for having me on. Anybody have any questions? I think I'll be happy to try to answer your questions.
Thanks for being here, Norm. And these are kind of becoming lost arts, and is something else that you could put in your trading quill, something else to keep an eye on besides your price action. And Norm is a patient, good teacher, and I don't think you're going to regret learning from Norm. So he has a lot to teach. And thank you very much, my trading warrior brother, for being here today.
Thank you, Dale. Let me just add that I know myself, when you first see it, looks strange, looks foreign, looks complicated. But after I explain it, almost everybody says, wow, this is simple. And I promise everybody, there's nothing I'm doing that's over grade school level. If you made it through grade school, you got it made with me. That's it. No fancy formulas. I can't do that stuff. I'm not that smart. So I had to figure out how to do this on a simple level.
Your teacher made you stand in the corner. Could you still learn?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, Norm, be safe, my buddy, and hope that all of your inflection points work for you and all your students and everyone you've taught.
Okay, here's my contact information here, hopefully on the screen. I'm in sunny Naples, Florida. There's my phone. You can call me. You can actually talk to me. You don't have to talk to a robot or like a website or all these other people do. I'm an old dinosaur like Dale there. I believe in actually talking to people and developing a relationship and try to help folks. There's my email, Nwinsky at embark with a Q in the middle, mail.com, or you can call me if you're overseas or in the States, doesn't matter, Nwinsky _1 on Skype.
Sei gesund, Norm.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that's a wrap, everyone. We laid it all on the court for you guys this week. You want to say thank you. Just show up and become part of the community, and that's a wrap, everyone. Remember, don't just count your full moons, count your blessings, and be perigee with the ones that you love. Shabbat Shalom, Amira. See you guys. Okay. Okay. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Thanks again, Norm.
Thank you. Mazel tov, right?
Love you too, Monica. See ya. Adios.